G'day everybody, Matua Matt here, and in the next in our series of creating Kawaii in Illustrator, we're going to have a go at creating some of these really cool foods. We'll have a go at sushi, at boba tea, at ice cream, and the delicious kibidango. So what we'll do first, I'll divide these into 4 separate videos, so that on this first video, let's have a go at learning how to make this really cute sushi. Okay. So we're gonna need a new file. I'm gonna go quite quickly through some of these things because you've got some pretty good skills now. So let's click on the home key. Let's just make a new file. We need an A4 landscape. There we go. Perfect. So we've got a new file. Now you can probably, let's quickly switch back. You can probably picture how we're going to go about creating this. Okay. Have a look at some of the shapes and the ways that we've made it. So let's get into it. So we're going to start off by getting our ellipse. There's our ellipse tool, and let's just drag. Now we're trying to make this one a bit 3D, so we kind of drag it so that we've got this ellipse shape here. Now we want to take a perfect copy of this, so let's just go to our selection tool, hold down Alt, remember, and I can drag a perfect copy. Now remember, we want to see that pink line down the middle because that means that they're perfectly lined up. So I'm going to move them fairly close together. Let's quickly jump back and have a look. So you can kind of see what I'm doing. I'm taking the top and the bottom first. So I've created our 2 ellipses. Now let's go and get the pen tool, and what we're going to do is we're going to draw the sides. So we're slowly going to move our pen tool until we see the anchor on this top ellipse. I click on it. Let's take our pen line down until we see the anchor on the bottom one and click that one again. I can press escape to finish with that line, and then we'll do just the same over here. Let's click on the anchor point, drag down, and click on the other anchor point. There we go. So it looks like we've actually got a shape here. Okay, we want to get rid of this little bit. We want to be able to fill up the color. So now we're going to use the amazing shape builder tool. We've used that before. So let's get our selection tool first because we want to select all of these objects. Now we go to our shape builder. Remember, that's the one that looks a little bit like a cloud. So I'm going to click on this. Okay, I'm going to hold down my mouse button on the outside, drag through until I've joined those 2 shapes together. And there you go. You can now see I've got my shape on the top, and then I've got that kind of 3D looking shape for the main one. Brilliant. So we want to put a bit of color on this now, so let's just select this shape first. Sometimes you have to click off and then click back on to make sure we selected that. So this is our seaweed, so let's get a nice dark green color. We'll go, oh yeah, that looks pretty good. Happy with that straight away. Let's just get that one. Great. And this is our rice on the top. So let's click our top shape. Okay, make sure that our fill is white, and in this case it is. Okay, let's quickly jump back to see our sushi again. Now, next thing what we're going to do, let's just bring in that face because I want it to look really cute. So go back to those eyes and mouth that you've created before. I think this one here is the perfect one for our sushi. So with my selection tool on, let me drag the box to select it. To make life easier when we copy it, before we go any further, let's right click and make sure that it's grouped. I can see this one is because it only gives me the option to ungroup. But if it's not, you just click on group. Now let's copy that one, go to our sushi, and let's paste. And there we go. It's probably actually about the right size. Now, let me make it a little bit smaller. Remember, we'll go to the corner, must hold down Shift as we make it smaller so that all the proportions stay just the same. There we go. How cool does that look already? Right, now let's have a go at creating this the kind of food in the top. You can create it how I like, but I quite like this style. This is very kawaii, just simple blocks of color. no detail. So I'll show you how to make that one. Okay, first we're going to make a perfect copy of the top ellipse. So I'm going to click on that top ellipse. Again, hold down Alt and drag up another one. I'll now go to the corner, hold down Shift, and make it a little bit smaller. There we go. Oh, that's too big still. I could be doing it just in there, couldn't I? Yep. I'm happy with that. Plenty of rice, plenty of filling. So I'm going to bring this over here for now. Now, let me jump back to what I created. So you see, I made these kind of 3 segments for our 3 different fillings. So the way that I did that is I'm just going to get the pen tool, okay, and I'm just going to start outside this ellipse, and I click, and I'll just let me come roughly into the middle. There we go. And then I'm just going to drag off to the side. You see I'm going right outside the shape. This just makes this stage way easier. Right, there we go. That's that one done. Now I'm going to come outside the shape, click, and go right into that middle anchor. Okay, so you see there we've got our shape. Oh, one thing that I've just noticed, you see this funny thing going on here? That's because I actually had a fill color going on there. So let's just turn that fill color off. We go, oh, we need to select it, don't we? Let's select this line and let's turn that fill color off. There we go. Okay, now once again, we're going to use the shape builder to create the 3 different shapes. Before I do that, I'm going to be a little bit fussy because I want just to change, I want to change the angle of that line slightly. Yeah, that's good. Happy with that. So we'll get our selection tool, and again, we'll select all of these objects. So I know that it's selected everything. Now, let's go to our shape builder. Remember the clouds. I click on this, hold down my mouse outside and drag through, and there we go. It's created that now as one new shape. Let's do it again for this one. Hold the mouse button, drag it through, another shape. And this one, hold the mouse, drag it through, 3 shapes. So it's created 3 shapes. The other thing that it's done, and you'll see this is super useful, is if I now go to my selection tool, what it's also done is it's actually made these little bits tiny shapes. So I can click on those and I can press delete on the keyboard, and I can actually get rid of those little bit ones. Okay, so there we go. We've got our 3 different shapes. Now all I need to do is let's make those some tasty sushi flavors. So I've got my selection tool. I'll click on the first shape. There we go. And let's double click. Let's have a bit of avocado first, actually. Oh, I'm pretty good with that. Perfect. We'll go for that avocado. Now let's do this one. Bit of salmon maybe this time. So let's get a lovely, tasty, real nice, bright. See if we can get a... Oh, no, I don't like those. I'm going to go up to the other end and see if we can find... Oh, no. Making it worse, eh? Let's just try and find just the nice. That's not bad. I want it a little bit pinker. There we go. Yep, I'm going to go with that. You can fiddle around as much as you like on that one, and on this front one, I'm just going to have some mayonnaise. So I'll click the front one, and let's just get a nice bright yellow for our mayonnaise. There we go. Okay, perfect. So now let me select all of these ones just to make sure. I can bring it over. I can add it into my sushi. Now, one thing that I've noticed, and I've managed to get this far through the video, is it looks like the stroke has only been 1 point the whole time. So I'm actually just going to change the stroke on everything all at the same time. So I can use my selection tool, drag a box, hold the mouse down just to select everything. And now let's go up to the stroke, and I'm going to type 3 in that box, and that's made everything 3 point. That looks way better. Suddenly it jumps out. Okay, so there we go. Our first video on how we can make sushi. Have fun and get creative.